Bowlers, at the sound of the bell, you may begin your doubles competition. Good luck and good score.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matt Cannizzaro live from the National Bowling Stadium here at the 2013 USBC Open Championships. I'm joined today by Aaron Smith, Media Relations Specialist here at the event, and we're going to be with you for the next 3.5 hours. We're here to watch Curtis Odom, the former PBA standout and the owner of the 700th perfect game in USBC Open Championships history. He achieved that feat in 2011, rolling the first one of 52 that year. And we'll see if Curtis has a little more magic for us today on our live stream broadcast. This is the very first doubles and singles broadcast of the year. We saw the legend of Dung Ho in the team event just a couple of days ago take the lead, so a lot of excitement already on our live stream schedule, but today is our first look at the doubles and singles lane condition. All that and much more as we get underway. This is game 1 of 6. They're bowling doubles first and then singles. For the first time in history, they will stay on the same pair of lanes, and you'll see 6 bowlers this year compared to 4 in the past. So that is the lowdown, and now here comes Curtis Odom getting ready to step up on the left lane. Aaron Smith, how are you today?
So far, so good, Matt. Happy daylight savings time.
I'm sure you don't mean that after probably getting out of here at 3:30 in the morning. I saw the timestamp on the top 10, 3:10 a.m. So I imagine you're here a little bit past that and home for a quick nap and back with us, and we do appreciate your dedication to this event.
Just glad to be here, Matt.
Here's our first look at Curtis. He had some equipment trouble.
Oh, good
prior
effort
to
2-4-10.
the starter doubles today. His favorite ball, his magic ball, as he says, a Black Widow from Hammer. A little bit of surface on it to cut through this new Kegel Ice Oil. The thumb slug or sleeve came right out as he was getting ready to pick it up for practice. So he's working on that right now off camera. Obviously, he threw a different ball there in frame number 1, left the split, so got that out of the way. If you're going to have an open, that's where you want it to be. And once he gets that other ball worked out, I have a feeling we're going to see some strikes out of this young man.
For those of you wondering at home, Curtis actually started off with a virtual gravity that had plenty of surface on it, so trying to create the same reaction as he works to get that Black Widow again.
This year, for the first time, 2 different patterns at the Open Championships. A 41-foot pattern for the team event and 39 feet here in doubles and singles. So a lot of firsts here at the 2013 Open Championships. A lot of anticipation and excitement about some of the changes. And we're still early. We're just 1 week in. So waiting to hear all of the great reviews about the changes. So far, so good. A lot of good scores, a lot of excitement. And, a lot of interest as the folks crowd around the live stream booth to see what's going on. Here's our next chance to see Mr. Odom. Again, that virtual gravity and a flat dime, as they say, in frame number 2. So a lot better shot there. But, could not get the 10 outs. And also stopping by here to check out the action, or USBC Silver coach Matt McNeil, 3-time champion here at the Open Championships, 2-time defending. He'll be putting his all events and doubles titles on the line late next month. And right now he's been hard at work downstairs on the 900 Global Showcase lanes, helping all of our VIPs and interested teams get situated on the lane condition. They have the opportunity to rent those lanes for 1 hour and bring up to 10 guys and work on their strategies, ball surfaces, get their game plans all set for when they head upstairs for the team event. And an hour session with McNeil is $200, and you can split that 10 away. It's 20 bucks a guy to have an expert. I would say he's an expert after the last 3 years, averaging 250.
I think all the banners with his name on it across the National Bowling Stadium certainly can certainly cover that.
So I certainly would pay 20 bucks to hear what Mr. McNeil thinks about how to attack the lanes this year, and you can too. So stop by the 900 Global Showcase lanes for a session with Matt, or if you're brave enough, you lead your team out there onto the showcase lanes for $100 for the hour, 10 bucks a guy. You get a chance to see exactly what you're going to be bowling on upstairs. This, of course, again, our first look at the doubles and singles lane condition. But don't fret, Mr. Smith. You also have the opportunity to see this pattern in advance at the National Bowling Stadium by competing in the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships, just a few lanes away.
Not very far away at all. All lanes lead to Reno. There's a smaller version of the Reno Arch showing you the path to the Bowlers Journal. It's almost like its own separate event. They built a wall on lane 65 through 67, I believe, possibly even 68, to separate the Open Championship from the Bowlers Journal. So you have your own nice little 10-lane environment over there as well.
That's right, and I believe I talked Curtis into competing in the Bowlers Journal the other day to get a chance to practice on this lane condition. Last year he was a little bit fooled, he said, by some of the discussions heading into Baton Rouge, and this year he had the opportunity to see for himself exactly what to expect, and there's a great shot there, so he is on track, first strike of the day. All right, Aaron Smith, so since you're here till 3 a.m. for the first time all year. Is there any excitement at least? I know the night before we had classified team leaders and some gentlemen from Hawaii, so always nice to see those come a long way, dedicated to this event and find success. But any happenings last evening?
We had some, nearly had some last minute excitement. As far as new leaders concerned, we didn't quite make it there, but I know you mentioned Hawaii. One of the members of the current classified team leader, Roy Yumihira from Honolulu. I should be from Honolulu, Matt. But Roy had a chance going into his 10th frame to take over the classified all events lead. Needed a double. Unfortunately, he came up a little bit short and went 8 spare to start. Finished up 16.98. Currently leading classified all events is Tyler Stockland of Hannaford, North Dakota at 7.17, so almost had some excitement. The clock's magically changing all the way to 3 a.m. was enough excitement for
oh, that's
one
right.
man, apparently.
You were going to let me get away with that. I knew we changed the clocks, and it didn't click until you said that. That actually would have meant 2 a.m. So you got out of here early last night. Now I don't feel so bad about you being back here today.
Oh. You insist.
Well, we did have some excitement during the day yesterday. Very talented father-son duo, Scott and Derek Hartnell, came up big in doubles, shot 13.41 to grab the lead. They bowled a pretty talented group. It seems like every year, one or two of them steps up, and we haven't really had to write the same story twice. Every year, it's a different guy stepping into the spotlight. And this time, we got to tell the tale of the father and son spending time together on the Open Championships lanes. And now that they live in 2 different cities, that's their opportunity 5 days a year at least to get together and do something they've enjoyed for a lifetime. And it paid off yesterday, so congratulations to them. 13.41, the new number in regular doubles. Curtis Odom aiming for that right now with his partner. Jason Narlock almost picks up Greek Church. It's actually Jason's first Open Championships appearance. So Curtis's usual doubles partner unable to make it. Jason steps in, and I got to meet him a few minutes after he stepped into the National Bowling Stadium for the first time and had the same reaction that most of us do when you come in and you see the 4 stories and the banners hanging from the ceiling. It really has a championship feel to it, and he felt that immediately. And he gets to bowl doubles with one of the nicest guys I've ever met in this sport. So it's a first time, certainly, he will never forget.
And if you're going to do it, not many better places than the National Bowling Stadium, especially if you've never been. It's certainly, it has earned the nickname the Taj Mahal of 10 pins, and rightfully so. That's how my championship career started off in 2004 here at the stadium, back when I was a little guy at the age of 19. First time out west as well, so it was really the whole experience itself was just overwhelming. And you could see that in my scores as well, so. I think I cracked 1,500 that first year.
1,500 is a good score for your first time. Somebody should have told you that it was a 9-game event. Obviously, you left early.
I wish I only bowled 8.
Well, we've all been there, sir, but at least now you're saving on travel expenses because you're already here. And perhaps Mr. Odom, now stepping up on the right lane, will be able to get you lined up. Hope you're taking notes. That shot a little bit light. That ball with a lot of surface on it, but you'd expect a little more movement. And we perhaps this new ice oil from Kegel is more than people expect. It is intended to play a little bit slicker and hold up much longer. So less transition, less moves throughout the games. This pattern 39 feet. And Eric Pearson, our lane man extraordinaire, was on the other day to talk to us a little bit about the patterns and the oil. And we'll have Matt McNeil come on in a little while as well to give his expert advice. And rumor so far, perhaps, is that too much surface is just too much for this pattern, actually. Too much energy being used up early. But there's plenty of friction on the back end. Only 39 feet. But I'm just a left-hander in the live stream booth. Let the experts explain what's right and what's wrong.
Right now we have Robert and Chris Longree up on the lanes. Robert on your left, Chris on the right. This entire group's from the Coldwater, Michigan area. Also joining Curtis on the lanes this year is Richard Yearling and Ted Short. Ted Short stepping up on lane number 40 to your right. And Richard Yearling on lane 39.
Yesterday afternoon, Curtis helped his Mark Weller Pro Shop team to a 28-54 team total. They got off to a great start with 10:29 in game number 1, but things didn't go quite so well. After that, I think, well, I don't think, I don't know. I know when we talked to a couple of teams earlier in the week, they started making moves in game 2, anticipating the kind of transition and breakdown that they may have seen in the past, based on their strategy, how they were playing the lanes, and trying to stay ahead of those necessary moves. They started to move, only to find that the oil actually did hold up, and we're very surprised by that. And if they figured it out soon enough, they could go back to where they were and save those moves for later, if at all. And so I don't want to speculate what happened in game number 2, but 10:29 in the opener, 8:88 game 2, and 9:37 in the finale for 28-54. And in talking to our team leaders, the legend of Dung Ho, Michael Villarreal, who shot 680 in the team event, started out with the Storm Frantic at 500 grit, expecting that he would be breaking down the outside part of the lane and then changing balls not too long after, as they did in the past few years. And that actually didn't work. He was able to stick with that ball for almost 2 whole games. Shot 238, 213 before switching to something else. So an eye-opener there. And hopefully other teams listening are prepared for what to expect. And the early reports about the difference in the two patterns, with the doubles and singles pattern being 2 feet shorter. The word is that obviously the doubles and singles pattern is going to hook a little bit more. You're getting the ball to read 2 feet earlier. So folks are actually standing in the same general location as they do in the team event and just throwing a little bit less ball, a little bit weaker, or a little less surface, or what have you, and finding some success there. That is the word from our actually first 2 all events leaders, one left-handed, one right-handed. So these patterns are able to be attacked from both sides of the lane, different angles, different styles.
And I'm sure that's what Eric and the crew from Kegel were trying to accomplish with this year's oil pattern, or both of them to be, since we are using 2.
That is always the goal. I want to put it out the fairest condition possible that doesn't allow for just 1 or 2 styles to find success. We want everybody to have a chance and be comfortable. We have not seen a perfect game yet this year. A couple of close calls, a couple front 9s, front 10, but nothing to write home about just yet. Certainly a lot of strikes on the board. Well, not these boards in front of us, but across the house, and more and more every day as people get familiar with the conditions. Leading all events right now, 20-51, Rick Thomas from Wisconsin.
Rick's held that score for about a week now, so July can't get here soon enough for Rick.
20-51, a solid effort. I have a feeling that might be about 200 short at least. Especially if the gentleman to my left has anything to say about it. Mr. McNeil set the all events record here in 2010, shot 23-26. Followed that up the following year with a ho-hum 22-41. Had a chance at back-to-back all events titles and had a little trouble with the transition at the end of singles. Came up a little bit short, finished 3rd that year. But got his title back last year in Baton Rouge. Blasted him on the live stream pair for 300, 847 in doubles. Claimed a doubles title with Charles Vashaw. And kept that going despite a rough singles effort. Only shot 563 in singles, but escaped with another all events title, 22-02.
I was going to say, Matt, I know you're the historian, but it's got to be pretty tough to win an all events title with a 560 in there. Well, obviously 792, 847 will help ease the pain of that.
Certainly, and just got enough. That's all that matters. 563, 663. I mean, certainly he was probably thinking about that all events record at some point, but he had learned from the year before when perhaps he didn't handle what was happening too well. And he was mentally stronger last year and battled back from a 150 start in singles, came away with that title. So
now he's Matty McHonorscore.
Matty McHonorscore, that's right.
We're pushing it this year. It's going to happen.
The only bowler in history here with 3 800s on the tournament lanes. Also a pair of 300s, a 299, and a 290 back when he was just a kid in 2007.
Right here at the National Bowling Stadium.
One more year like that, we have to change the name of this place to the house that McNeil built. But that and much more later. Right now, today's about Curtis Odom, who put together his first double of the day. Curtis shot 589 yesterday in the team event.
We are already in the 10th frame of the first game here, so scores are slowly rolling in.
This year's setup, very cool on the live stream. We don't have to do anything but sit here and talk. Got the scoreboard shot, got a shot of the pins, and of course the action as we see Chris Longre. Longre, probably should have checked on that. I'm gonna say that for 4 hours. Either way, we'll be here for all of doubles and singles, so we appreciate everybody joining us once again. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. The media duo here in Reno for both the Open and Women's Championships. That's right, for the first time. Both tournaments in the same host city in the same year. The ladies will be across town at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. 44 specially installed lanes. A beautiful venue coming along nicely just for them. That event kicks off April 12th, and both tournaments will run into July. lot of opportunities for the families to travel together for the women to bowl both events and experience all that USBC has to offer at the national level. This year, 6 on a pair for doubles and singles. And you don't flip, so you stay on the same lanes for all 6 games. So now, playing the lanes together, having a strategy, that much more important in doubles and singles.
It's very true, Matt. In the past years, it was always a kind of roll of the dice depending on who you followed for in team event or other doubles and singles. If you bowled the 11:40 a.m. or 11:20 a.m.
11:40?
11:40 a.m. squad. So you always had to kind of get here early, check out what everyone was doing ahead of you, and hopefully find that right matchup. But now it's, as you mentioned, it's all about working together as a team, trying to help break down the shot as Curtis gets a light mixer there. That's a 3-bagger from Mr. Odom as he kicks off his 10th frame.
So all that work he was doing on that Black Widow, and he's sticking with the virtual gravity here in game 1. Managed 3 in a row. But I think we're going to see that Black Widow on the film ball perhaps to get an idea.
Certainly a chance. Talked to Curtis a little bit beforehand. Another mixer in the bag this year, along with that virtual gravity and Black Widow. He's got another Black Widow, so 2 Black Widows, nothing wrong with that. An Ebonite Mission, the original red one. A Brunswick Versamax, and of course the trusty spare ball. He's going to stick with that virtual gravity here.
Fast 8 for Mr. Odom, finishes with 212. And his double partner, Jason Narlock, 148, so a little bit of a rough start for the two. The number they're chasing, 1341 on top of the regular double standings. Game 1 of doubles, just about in the books here. Game 2, underway. Curtis Odom starts with 212, shot 589 yesterday in the team event. In just a minute, we'll have Mr. McNeil join us to talk a little bit about this year's action so far. All right, Mr. McNeil joining us in the booth.
Matty, how's it going?
Everything is swell up here, sir.
Very good. Just another fine day at the National Bowling Stadium.
Well, we're here to talk bowling. Obviously, we're watching Curtis Odom, very talented former PBA standout.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think I'm going to put on my Swami hat, Matty, and I'm going to predict that his single set might not be all that good. And here is the reason why. I know that was going to be the next question out of your mouth, but my prediction is that he's too far left to start with too much surface, and he's not going to be able to create any hold for himself. And since the pattern is flatter in the middle and only 39 feet, I don't think he's going to have anything to continue to move left into. I think the key for him was to start around 4, 5, 6 with that ball that he's throwing right now. But time will tell if I'm right or wrong. But that's just my Swami hat prediction there.
Well, Matt, you have spent most of the last week downstairs on the showcase lanes, and you've been well trained and are now an expert on the team lane condition. And the opportunity for bowlers to go down and spend some time with you, the VIPs and teams, to get some thoughts on that pattern and the new oil, the Kegel Ice. And of course, I know that you're a thorough guy, so you probably spent some time upstairs or over at the Bowler's Journal checking out the other lane condition that you're not showing downstairs. I guess tell me a little bit about the Kegel Ice and what you've seen so far as the transition, the breakdown, and what we can really expect to see on this pair of lanes today.
Well, Kegel Ice is, you know, I've talked to Eric Pearson quite a bit about the Kegel Ice, and it's really an oil that's supposed to hold up. I mean, it's not supposed to transition. It's, you know, it's made to basically stay where it is. You know, how you apply it onto the lane is it's supposed to hold up. It's supposed to stand up against the traffic and the push that the bowling balls create as they go down the lane surface. So that being said, I've also watched and talked to a lot of bowlers who say the oil is transitioning just like it would any other oil. So it's as if the Kegel Ice is not almost living up to its name. I don't want to badmouth Kegel because I think they make some of the best bowling products as far as lane maintenance is concerned in the world. But I just think that I don't know if it's really playing up to the hype that people are giving it.
Well, we have talked to a couple of teams who are familiar with, obviously, lane play strategy and working together as a team, and the expectations of, you know, how the lanes have transitioned in recent years. The patterns not too similar, but pretty close to where, you know, that strategy has worked over the last few years as far as, you know, playing all together in the outside part of the lane, breaking them down, creating yourself a little bit of bank as you can creep in at that point and use that area to create a little angle to the pocket. And some teams coming in not even realizing that it's a different kind of oil that is supposed to hold up. So in anticipation of the transition and the moves that they're going to need to make, you know, to stay ahead of that, they're making the moves and finding out actually that it's not happening. And so they're a little bit stuck at that point, confused that they've made the move that has worked, that they expected, and they really could have stayed where they were. So if they figure that out fast enough and get back to where they should be. But there's a couple who were baffled and paid the price here in 2013. So the word's going to get out that maybe you don't have to move so quick.
Exactly.
And, so I guess a little bit of mixed reviews, and only a weekend. So we'll see how things unfold a little bit as some more of the top teams come through and are able to provide some analysis.
Yeah, I think what you're going to find this year is that you're still going to have to move. I think the amount of movement you make is going to be less, and I think the pace at which you make your moves will be slower than in previous years with the oil. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that, you know, transition has gone, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, the amount of transition that you're going to experience is going to be, you know, a 9 or a 10, as in other years that we've seen. I'm going to say it's probably going to be around a 4 or 5. I don't think it's, you know, you're still going to see transition. You're still going to be able to carve the shot. You're still going to be able to make or break yourself. However, I think that, you know, setting a limit on, you know, okay, after X amount of frames, we think we're going to have to do, you know, 4 and 2 and maybe a ball switch. I think that's the wrong thinking. I think it's you ride it until the horse bucks you, and then you make your move. And I think what, you know, you just hope that when you throw that one shot, you know, you 4-pin or you 6-pin, you know, or something like that, and that gives you the indication, okay, yeah, it's time to start moving left.
Well, and now I totally agree. And as we said, you know, they're anticipating those moves and maybe too soon. And we're going to see that in doubles and singles as well. Fresh oil now for every squad, first time in history, and 6 on a pair. Certainly that's going to change the way things break down, the way things happen a little bit in the oil situation, able to, you know, cancel that out a little bit, but still a lot of traffic here. You are bowling fresh, everybody on the same condition from the beginning, and 6 games on one pair, so it's there's no guessing game. Moving to another pair and seeing what the folks before you did on that pair. So now it's all up to you for 6 straight games, much slower pace and more traffic. So interested to see, you know, how all that comes into play here in 2013. Matt, what have you seen so far in watching doubles and singles?
Well, I think your double scores are going to be lower. I don't think it's going to take you know, I remember in 2010 and 2011, the double scores were pretty high. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we're going to see double scores go down by, the winning double score will probably go down by about 50 to 70 pins. I think it'll be closer to what we saw last year in the double scoring pace.
Matt, do you even remember what the winning double score was last year? I know it's kind of one of those numbers that's lost in the leaderboard somewhere, but an uneventful doubles year, I guess. And, off the top of my head, I can't think of what the number was.
It's there's a big banner right in front of us here that says 1489.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm going to go out on a limb. I've gone out on too many limbs this morning. I'm going to stop using that phrase. I will guesstimate. I think, you know, if you shoot 1450, I think you have a sporting chance this year. I think you have a very sporting chance just because it's on fresh, and it's going to take quite a bit for 2 guys to really jive, and you have to jive with the other 4 guys to make sure you're breaking down the pattern correctly so you don't jail yourself.
Last year's doubles champions, 2 guys from Minnesota, I believe, right around where you live. Are you familiar with those gentlemen? Just Charles Vashaw.
Yeah.
And some Matt McNeil guy.
Who the heck is that guy? I've never heard. He must be just a one-hit wonder flash in the pan. I don't think he's really done anything before, Matty.
So last year you had a big doubles effort. You know, we had you on the live stream broadcast in the booth for 3 hours. Got to watch a talented group from Wichita. A couple of left-handers. Maybe you took some notes at that point, and then you get out there. A big 847 set. But this year, going out there on the fresh, how's that going to change your strategy a little bit? I know, at least for us on the left, you know, we get fresh more than we don't usually. We don't follow left-handers too often, and no matter who you followed the last 3 years, it doesn't really seem to affect your scores. But how's the strategy going to change when you head out there this time?
Well, me and Chuck are definitely going to work together. You know, I think he's going to fly out here sooner. He might just fly out here for a couple of days, and I think we're going to go bowl to BJ. And you know, we might just you know, throw our money out there and just try to work a plan and see what happens. But you know, I think there's still strategy to it. I mean, because it also depends on the other 4 guys on your pair. So, you know, how our team lineups work with who's going to be on the 6 pair, who's going to be on the 4 pair, because you have a lot of things to consider. You got team all events to consider, you know, plus your doubles and singles. So, you know, there's a lot of things that go into that, but there's definitely going to be a strategy, right-handed or left-handed, to break this pattern down properly so that game 5, game 6, you're smiling and you're not frowning. You know, you're not saying, oh, I'm out of room, I have nowhere to go, you know, my ball does one thing here and it does another thing there. You know, if you break it down right, you can make them very nice. So I'd expect, you know, me and Chuck will figure something out, and you know, he's very talented as well, and we'll have a good game plan when we go out there come May 1st.
Well, you did mention bowling the Bowlers Journal Championships.
Oh yeah, that's a must.
The BJ this year being contested on the doubles and singles lane condition over here at the Open Championship. So the BJ just a few lanes away, lanes 69 through 78 here at the National Bowling Stadium. The Open Championships on 1 through 64. But the doubles and singles pattern is what they're bowling on at the BJ. And you'll have 3 games to get out there and test out this pattern and hopefully win a little more prize money as well. With BJ, you can bowl singles, doubles, mixed doubles, senior singles, 199 and under handicap singles. So something for everybody over there, and an instant cash opportunity. So I believe the number for open singles is either 640 or 650. So you go out there, you have a pretty good look. You get some money back at the end of the day right on site, so it's like free practice on the double to singles pattern. So certainly cannot miss that opportunity.
No, it's definitely a must. I mean, if you're, you know, if you come out here expecting to be successful, you have to bowl that, and I'd say you'd have to bowl it 2-3 times, get a good feel for it. You know, I mean, like I said, I mean, you know, me and Chuck, if we go out there, we might just throw money into the wind just a little bit just to get some games on it and experiment a little bit. Well, okay, you know, if we start here and we throw this many games here and then we try to move in here, we'll see what happens. But, you know, it's all an investment for when you go play when the lights come on in the big tournament. You know, it's the same thing with bowling downstairs. Definitely there'll be, our team will be renting the showcase lanes out for a team practice. I know, you know, there's a lot of us individuals will probably be taking advantage of that as well. And then, you know, there's a good 3-man Baker. It's the Baker Bonanza, Matty. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will, because I hear the word bonanza and I just get excited. And guaranteed top prize, $3,333 to the top Baker Bonanza team. So it's $20 a man for a chance at, you know, $1,000 some a man. So definitely got to go bowl the Baker Bonanza.
So definitely a lot happening inside the National Bowling Stadium this year. As you just mentioned, we have the BJ upstairs next to the Open Championships for the first time. Downstairs on the showcase lanes, the opportunity to rent those lanes for 1 hour with up to 10 people, and a chance to test your strategy, get your equipment ready, to head upstairs for the team event. And if you want to have just a little bit of fun on a different lane condition, you can go to the 900 Global 2-Game Challenge, and that event has daily and year-long payouts. The entry fee is just $40, or you can get together with 2 of your friends, as Matt mentioned, and bowl the Who's Got the Look Baker Bonanza. The format of that event is that all 3 of you will bowl 3 frames of the game, Baker style, and then you will choose who bowls the 10th frame each game.
And I believe in that, one guy can bowl up to 3 10th frames, and then 2 other guys have to at least bowl 1 10th frame. So you do have to mix it up there a little bit. But that adds to the enjoyment of the tournament, makes it interesting, keeps it fun.
Both of those events downstairs with average-based divisions, so the opportunity for everybody to compete. Bowlers Journal has different divisions as well. So it's really possible to come into the building perhaps for 7 a.m. doubles and singles. Put your shoes on just before 7 in the morning. Get done with that, bowl the BJ, head downstairs, bowl the Baker Bonanza, bowl a 2-game challenge. And before you know it, you spent the entire day with your bowling shoes on at the National Bowling Stadium. You don't need a car at all.
No.
Just get off the airplane, hop on a shuttle, come downtown, stay at one of the tri-properties, Silver Legacy, El Dorado, or Circus, and you're just a few hundred yards away from the National Bowling Stadium. And should you choose to ship your equipment here, you don't even have to worry about that. It'll be in the building waiting for you when you arrive.
That's convenient.
It is a hassle-free trip.
It is, and I'm gonna throw my apologies out to Circus because I went down there and played skee ball last night, and all I can say is they didn't see me coming, Maddie. Spent about $2, and I got one of those huge stuffed animal thingies, and made for some nice decor in the apartment. So,
well, Mr. McNeil taking advantage of the convenience of Reno as a temporary resident. He lives walking distance from the National Bowling Stadium, and a lot of folks come and say there's nothing to do in Reno, and I don't know how much experience you had around the area in the past, but now that you're here, I think your eyes might be open a little bit more about what is nearby, what is within walking distance, and how much this city really is changing for the better, and trying to make it more entertaining for the bowlers. A lot to see, but what have you had the opportunity to see and experience since you've been here that you didn't even know about?
Well, Eric Pearson took me to this really good Mexican restaurant down by the river there, kind of by the Sierra? Is it by the Sierra?
The Sienna.
The Sienna, that's it. Yeah, it's kind of down by, it's just a mom and pop Mexican place, live Mexican band. They're really, really good. And food was awesome, and a really cool atmosphere. It had cool chairs, and it was a great time, great food. And then also, what's really cool, everybody is go check this out because I thought it was really nice. Down by the river, there's a place called the River Room, which is a nice, like a really nice lounge atmosphere, nice new buildings, nicely furnished, really clean, nice people, good service, good food, and it's like 3-4 blocks away from the Tri properties. So you just kind of head walking under that Reno little biggest city in the world thing. You just keep walking past that, and you'll see it right on your right hand side. And it's a really nice area. I mean, I'd take a date there. I'd take the family there. It's a really nice place. So nice area to check out, and they got outdoor seating and everything for when it warms up, and beautiful area. And then just exploring a little bit outside of hopped in the car and drove around. There's the Legends area.
Speaking of Legends, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh no,
you here,
go ahead.
But Mr. Yearling here on lane 39 is trying to become a legend at the Open Championships with 7 consecutive strikes here. And as soon as we mention it, of course, he comes up short.
You gave him the black cloud.
Washout. Yes, that's what we do.
The black cloud.
As soon as the cameras were watching, he was quietly trying to sneak past us with a big number here. And I had my eye on it, but certainly I was enjoying hearing about all the things that Reno has to offer. Now we can get back.
Yes, let's get back to bowling. Let's get back to bowling. But anyways, just for everybody, all the I know people get grizzled and salty about Reno. I don't like going to the city. There's nothing to do. And they grouse and they're salty. But there's actually give it a fair shake because there's actually a lot of cool stuff to do here and a lot of cool stuff to see. You just got to be positive about it and optimistic. So I know the flights are a little spendy, but you know what? They got shuttles. Save money there. You don't have to rent a car. You save money there. And so there's a lot of good ways to save. Plus you can bowl all the side events right here and make some extra cash.
Well, and depending on the time of year, baseball season right around the corner.
Yeah.
There's a very nice baseball stadium just a couple blocks away. A nice little area with restaurants and some shopping over by the stadium. Matt, in case you didn't know, the old Fitzgerald's is now I believe they call it the world's largest indoor climbing wall. You have the opportunity to strap on a harness and a helmet and climb up the old Fitzgerald, get inside of there, and for the adventurous folks coming to town, when you're not on the lanes, certainly get over there and check that out. And as you mentioned, the river area, always something very nice to see and enjoy over there.
Well, we'll have to go check that out because I want to go check out the climbing wall. So I'll tell you what. Let's put this out for all the people watching on the live stream right now. Me and Matt will have a contest, okay? And we'll say maybe I don't know. Loser has to. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'll tell you what. If you lose, you got to wear one of the T-shirts that Eric Vermillier made up.
Fair enough.
All right.
However, there's no way that I will put my Oliphant score up against yours. So, that bet is off the table immediately.
Okay.
Maybe if you were going to give me 10 or 11 games.
Well, no, I was thinking on the climbing wall. Whoever can get the highest on the climbing wall.
I think that might be doable.
All right. All right. So it's set. We'll let you know, all the live stream viewers out there, what happens in the epic climbing wall battle at the old Fitzgerald. Let's go back now. Now let's watch Curtis here, okay? Because I think what's happening, what I predicted, is happening. He's trying to move left, and now he's getting over under. If he bleeds it all to the right, now see that one was way out, and he's waving to it. Goodbye. Yeah.
So there's a lot of surface on that virtual gravity.
Yeah. He's created over under for himself. If he keeps it in, it spark hooks on him. If he gets it right, it fades away because he's crossing too many boards. And there's a bunch of push down lane, not only from him, but from the other guys to the right. So I think, yeah, that's a good spare. That's a good spare out there. But I think the real strategy is to not start too far left. I think there's a tease. There's a tease shot right up second, third arrow on this short pattern. And you can try to play it. But I think the gold mine is if you can be patient and ride it out, playing up first arrow.
Well, and just early observations, of course. This is a sports certified lane condition, as is the team event. So, misses are going to be maximized. You're going to see them for sure.
Certainly.
If you miss right, chances are the ball's going to stay right. And if you tug it left, chances are it's probably going to hook a lot. A little more hold in the middle this year. But certainly, if you do miss to the outside, and you do have some surface, the ball's not going to react when it hits the friction down lane, and you're going to leave those washouts that you just saw from Curtis. So certainly going at least early, for a right-hander, left to right, probably not going to work. You're going to want to be a little bit straighter, or even right to left, as we saw in our team event the other day.
And that gets the going left to right early. Gets the Matt McNeil frown face. Like if I had the old Bo Burton pen, on the thing, I would draw a frown face. Because I think that's going to be your impending result. But I think going up the lane, and this is what I've been telling everybody downstairs, keeping the angles, your launch angle through the front part of the lane as straight as possible.
Well, and most folks are used to in league. Obviously you can, for us to stand right, throw it to the left, right at the friction, and it's going to come screaming back. For the righties, you get left and wheel it, it's going to spark off the gutter. But that's not the case. That's not what sport bowling is all about. It's about accuracy, making good shots, and of course, when you don't knock all 10 pins down, making your spares, and that's what's going to keep you in this thing.
Yeah, it really comes down to spare shooting, making good shots, and making your spares. I think if you do both of those, you'll do very well. If you, however, if you're unprepared, do not make good shots and do not pick up your spares, your results will not be as desirable.
Well, and if you are at home and interested in getting ready for this year's event, you can find the lane conditions on the Open Championships page on bowl.com. That's bowl.com/openchamp. And just click on the lane conditions information box, and you'll be able to see all of the graphs, the team event, doubles and singles, and our two side events downstairs. So you can certainly do your homework, and if you don't know what you're looking at exactly, I'm sure the experts at your local bowling center will be glad to help you decipher what those are all about and potentially lay those patterns out for you so you can practice at home before you head out here.
Now let's just show, okay, we got Richard up there, right? He's just finishing out his 10th frame. So he's going to shoot 260 this game. Okay, so aside from the one errant shot, the washout, look where he's playing up the lane. He's like right up 7, 8, 9, and he started right around 5. So, you know, I think that's kind of, you know, people at home with the paper and pencil, write this one down. Now that was a little pull. That was like around 10, 11. But good 9. And a good game, 263. But I think that's how you do it. Right there is just like how Richard did, keeping the angle straight. I mean, if I was Curtis's ball rep right now, I'd say, you know, let's go to, you know, less surface, something that's going to get down the lane a little easier, and then not try to flare so much. And let's kind of go to the whip. Let's pick up the speed and try to roll the ball up a little more.
Curtis threw a few good shots earlier. He appeared to have quite a bit of hold in the middle of the lane, and his bad shots were the ones where he missed right. That was a great shot there.
That was better.
It held pocket for him, and it was just inside of that rangefinder down lane, around 10 at the break point there. And if he keeps it there, at least for now, he's going to have a pretty good look. But as you said, all that surface is going to affect the middle of the lane. And,
yes.
And then he'll probably have some trouble there later on since we are not moving for singles. So another good
See
shot.
that was in just, I mean, that was probably a board and a half in, okay? And, you know, that's what makes the big scores. If you're lined up properly, you can miss a board and a half on this pattern. I promise. I guarantee. I've watched it enough. I've looked at it enough. You can miss a board and a half on this pattern. However, if you're not lined up properly, you can't miss a board and a half. You know, you're gonna do that. You're gonna, you know, high 9 pin or a high 4 pin or, you know, or something like that. So we'll see what Curtis does here. I'm hoping it works out for him, but we'll see.
Well, Curtis did have a pregame disaster. He had his trusty Black Widow.
Oh,
he went to grab it out of the bag, I believe, for practice, and his thumb sleeve slid right out.
Oh, no.
So he had to make a decision and went with the virtual gravity early. Appears to like the reaction. I know he was working on getting that Black Widow fixed up. And not sure how that turned out. Obviously, he has not gone to it yet. So either it is not ready to go, or he's confident in his ball choice and sticking with it. But we'll see here in game 3. Curtis Odom starts with 212, 183 here in doubles. His partner, first timer, Jason Narlock, 148, 178. So not a spectacular start for these two guys, but still 4 games left to make something happen here at the 2013 USBC Open Championship.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, and we'll see what happens in singles here, but I'm going to put, if I was riding the horse right now, I'd be riding right on the back of good old Richard Yearling. He's keeping it straighter and just throwing it a little harder, a little less hand. Well, I spoke too soon.
Just like a little bit less surface as well.
Yeah, a little less surface, and that's what I said. You know, I said that in the kickoff show. You don't need a lot of surface out here. I mean, you don't need 1,000 grit. I think that's too much. I mean, 2,000 would be the most I'd go, but I think every ball you should at least have a fresh 4,000. Richard, where are you going there, pal? That's right through. You threw the first shot there. The pins are to the right. Come on now, Richard.
All right, well here's Curtis. He's talking it over with some folks here.
We'll see what hopefully he got some good advice. I hope that guy said throw it harder, stop covering so many boards.
Just grabbing the same ball. I mean, he made some good shots there in the 10th frame, so
he's sticking with it. Just moved a little deeper, and now the ball won't finish.
Got that one a little bit right of the rangefinder and went light. Almost left the the bucket.
Yeah, and he also started deeper. Like, I think he moved his feet like 2 left because he went high. That one shot, you know, he was around 11 and it sparked, and he goes a high 9 pin, so he moves 2 and he moves 2, keeps his eyes around about the same, gets to 9, now he gets 7. So he has to be on 10 with good speed and good release to get a desirable result on the line he's playing with the ball he's playing. So I like Curtis. He's a great guy, but this is not how you're supposed to play him, boys and girls at home. Sorry for being, I know that's a little harsh, but I'm sorry, a little frank.
Well, if there's anybody in this building right now who's capable of making the adjustments and getting lined up, certainly I'd put my money on Curtis. He's got a wealth of experience.
There it goes. Get down.
We'll see. Curtis,
What do you have in team last night?
he was 589 in the team event.
Ooh.
2-teen, 180, 190, so relatively consistent. Team shot 2850, so it's probably going to be a casher.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely cash. And yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Curtis is making his 22nd tournament appearance. Career average is 208. He's been pretty solid.
That's very solid.
The last few years, since coming off the PBA Tour, his first event back with us at the Open Championships was 2007. Shot just shy of 2,100. He shot minimum 1,900 every year since 2000. Again in Las Vegas in 2009. But Curtis has the 700th perfect game in Open Championship history. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, or it does sound like a lot. I'm sorry, 700.
So he was number 700.
He was number 700.
That's pretty cool. That's like, you know, you walk into the store, you're the millionth customer or something like that. I think that's pretty cool to you know, fall into the line of history right at that right time. I think that's pretty cool.
So he did have the first one of 2011, and if you put it all in perspective, this is the 110th Open Championships that we're watching right now here in 2013. And there's only been 751 perfect games.
Out of all the,
or 770. I'm sorry about that.
How many people have bowled this tournament?
Well,
do we have that number?
We have 60,000 bowlers every year so far. And,
okay.
I believe it was back in 2004. We had our 500,000th team.
500,000th team. So
500,000
times 5 is, what is that? 250.
That's a whole lot of people.
500,000 times 5. That gives us, it's like what, 2.75 million?
Times 9 games.
That's quite a few.
Plus the additional year since 04. And we've only had 770 perfect games in history. So
yeah, so that's, you're talking, you know, millions of bowlers, hundreds of millions of games. And yeah, I think that's quite an accomplishment.
So, and then there's those gentlemen.
Curtis is a heck of a nice guy, too.
He is actually so nice, in fact, that he was the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award winner on the PBA Tour back in 1986. Mr. McNeil, what were you doing in 1986?
I was still getting my diapers changed and crawling around the floor on my hand. I was 1, so I don't even know if I was crawling yet. God knows what I was doing. I'd have to call home and ask my folks. But
Curtis has been at this a while. He's a long-time nice guy, and
he is.
He's been with us all week, checking out the action. And
he's got a good smile too. Curtis, he's a good guy. You look at him. He's got a good smile. I like Curtis's smile.
Well, if you check out the Matt Cannizzaro Facebook page, that is Matt Cannizzaro USBC. There's a picture of Curtis after he rolled his 300 game in 2011.
With that good smile.
We wanted to give a little preview of what we were going to see today. And there's a little bit of video there as well. Maybe. There it is.
There it is. I like it.
So check that out. Make sure you like that page.
I like that. Hey, Maddie, can I throw a plug in for my Bowling Nerd Show that I debuted last week? All right, everybody who appreciates the finer things in the bowling realm, please go to YouTube, type in Bowling Nerd Show, Matt McNeil, or you can look me up. It's on my Facebook page as well. But every week, tomorrow I'm going to tape my next installment, and next week's going to be very interesting. I'm going to keep it under wraps, so you'll have to see it when I put it up on the web, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. But every week or every other week, I'm going to take the bowlers to the behind-the-scenes areas and try to unveil some cool things never before seen, and get some cool, crazy stories from people who've been here for many years. But anyways, it's called The Bowling Nerd Show. Matt McNeil. Please check it out on YouTube. And give me your likes, dislikes, or any requests of any cool things that you'd like to see. So that's that shameless plug there.
Well, while we're plugging things, sir, how about before you head out, we plug once again the showcase lanes, and maybe tell the folks a little bit about what a day is like down there for you, and what you have to offer on the showcase lanes here.
Well, we got on the showcase lanes, we got of course the team pattern that you get to bowl on. Also, if you take the lesson with me, I will plug that I did work with the current doubles leaders before they hit the lanes.
That is Scott and Derek Hartnell.
Yep.
And they're leading with 13:41 for those of you
doing
the math at home.
Yeah. So we worked on their games a little bit, worked on their lane play, worked on some surfaces, equipment choices. But basically, you get me for an hour. You can ask me anything, and if you can either work on your physical game, mental game, or just working on lining you up, lining your team up, how to work together as a team, mental team play aspects, and then of course equipment choices. And I'm a equal opportunity endorser, so if you say what storm ball would be good for me, 11 years in the pro shop industry, so I can rattle off 3 or 4 good ones. Roto Grip, Brunswick, any of the Ebonite International brands. Did I cover all the brands?
There's a few more.
There's a few.
Visionary Motive.
So I'm pretty well versed on all of them. So if you need any equipment choices, layouts, cover stocks, anything like that, I can give you some good sound professional advice, and hopefully it works out, and you guys have a good team event, and maybe win some extra cash in brackets.
All right, so 1 hour with Matt McNeil downstairs on the 900 Global Showcase Lane. $200. That's for you and up to 9 of your friends. To get all the inside information on how to play the lanes in the team event, you get to bowl on that pattern, same oil, same lane service. And if you choose to go on your own, you still have the ability and the time to rent the showcase lanes for 1 hour, $100 without a coach. Those times are filling up quickly, so check bowl.com/showcase lanes for contact information and get signed up now. We don't want you to show up and miss out on the chance to test your strategy and ball choices before you head upstairs.
Very important to book your time, because the tournament's not really even in full bore yet, and we've been very, 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 very busy downstairs. So especially when April and May hit, guys, I'm telling you, book your times right now, because they will be filling up. So make sure to do that. Get on bowl.com, get that stuff taken care of.
And I will say that we don't bowl till May, but my times are already reserved for May 5th.
I think I better go down and reserve times for my team, actually. I think I'm going to do that right now, because I got a lesson at 12:30. I got to get ready for that, and then I think I'm going to book my team times too. So, Maddie, thanks a bunch for letting me come into the booth and rap with you. And we'll head over to the old Fitzgerald and climb that wall sometime here.
All right, and whenever you're ready, by the way, I know Mr. Vashtaw won't be in town for quite some time, so anytime you need a left-hander to step in and go bowl some Bowler's Journal games over there, I can step in. I'm 3 eagles short of a Vashtaw, but I'll give it my best to help, so just let me know.
All right.
You know where to find me.
You're on, my man. We'll head over there and bowl. So, all right. Thanks again, Matty.
All right,
See
Mr.
ya.
McNeil. Appreciate it. We'll see you downstairs at the 900 Global Showcase Lanes. All right, folks. That was our USBC Silver. Coach Matt McNeil headed downstairs to give a lesson to a lucky VIP here at the 2013 USBC Open Championships. That lesson part of the amazing VIP package. Package also includes a VIP personalized polo shirt, time in the VIP lounge, express check-in, express weigh-in, VIP photo package, video package, all kinds of other great goodies, all for $229.95. And if you choose to stay at one of the tri-properties, Silver Legacy, Circus, or El Dorado, you also get food and drink credits at the hotel you're staying at. So a lot of value for one low price, and you get a 1 hour lesson one-on-one with Mr. McNeil. So check that out now, bowl.com/VIP. Right now we are watching former PBA standout Curtis Odom. Bowl to 300 game here in 2011. And he is struggling a little bit here in doubles. He did make a ball change when looks like to the Black Widow that we talked about earlier, with a little less surface than the virtual gravity he started with. Games of 212 and 183 to start. His doubles partner Jason Narlock, 148 and 178. Curtis doing his best to get lined up. Singles is coming up next, all in the very same pair. First time in history, no switching for doubles and singles. Let's see what Curtis has in store for us. Aaron Smith back in the booth. Welcome back, Aaron.
Good to be back, Matt. Sound like you and Mr. McNeil had a good chat, and I can't express how excited I am to see this this wall challenge take place at the old Fitzgerald's.
I was hoping nobody was listening, but it sounds like the word is out, so I need to, well, start working on that, I guess. Sneak over there maybe during the team event one day.
Sounds like a plan.
While you were gone, Mr. Richard Yearling, right here in front of us, had the front seven, but I bet you knew that.
Oh, of course.
You always have your eye on the lane viewer.
I was taking a gander while taking in the live stream, so it was the best of both worlds.
Now, had you been out and about, you certainly would have had the opportunity to see what was happening by checking your smartphone or your iPhone for the X Bowling Tournament Edition. It's an app you can download that will help you tune in to the Open and Women's Championships and some other USBC events to check out live scoring. We actually got the opportunity to use that the other day while we were live streaming down on the low end of the house. Two gentlemen way down on the other side of this enormous venue had 8, 9, 10 consecutive strikes, and we were able to see that on my iPhone, X Bowling Tournament Edition. And if you're at home watching, you want to see how somebody's doing, you're not at a computer, tune in, see their scores live, real time, and some other very cool features on there, so check that out. X Bowling Tournament Edition.
Yeah, that was pretty neat to be able, we were live streamed behind lanes 9 and 10, and on lanes 31 and 2 and lane 50, 4950, we got to keep up to date with what was going on, as a few bowlers made that run at perfection, including our man at center desk right now, Mr. David Harris.
Well, we still have not seen our first perfect game, but Aaron, you've been around long enough. You were here with us for a month in 2010, and you've been at the Women's Championships and so on and so forth. You're back with us now, but it seems that these things come in bunches. So once that door opens, it tends to be a bit of a floodgate. So we will see. Of course, whomever bowls the first 300 of the year, it's a big moment. As Curtis had that opportunity back in 2011, and his was the 700th in history. So also very cool. But once we see that first one, I have a feeling there's going to be a handful, and a lot of folks have been close. You know, anytime you talk bowling and you try to get somebody to come out and check it out, they want to see a perfect game. It's exciting, and well, we've seen a few on our live stream as well. Maybe we'll see one today.
Yeah, neat little fact right now, Matt. A few lanes to our right, I just saw her. On lanes 47 and 8, Lindsay Staley, who was once Lindsay Bonificini, actually shot the first 300 I ever saw at the tournament. That was here in 2009. We only had one of them. It was at just about at the end. It was, I think it might have been July already. So we were just getting ready to wrap up. Hadn't seen the 300 all year. And she was able to break through with a trip 4 on her final shot for the lone 300 of the 2009 Women's Championship. So she's back competing here at the Open. A neat opportunity. So hopefully she's back at the Women's as well this year and takes advantage of all the side events.
Aaron, an expert at the Women's Championships, has been there 2010 and 2012. And we'll be back and forth here in 2013. Why do you say? Because the Women's Championships is just 3 miles away at the Reno Sparks Convention Center starting April 12th. So it's going to be a lot of excitement there on Bowl.com and here on Bowl TV. We'll be bringing you some live stream broadcasts from the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Some of the top ladies in the world will be right here on Bowl TV. So check that out. If you want to see the live stream schedule, you can find that on the main page of Bowl.com. And down on the right side, you'll see all the upcoming events, not just from the Open and Women's Championships, but Lucas Wiseman, the globe-trotting PR manager, social networking, live stream extraordinaire, will be out and about. Some great collegiate events coming up soon, so check that out. And
I saw Lucas had already checked in a few times. The Wiseman jinx and Canizaro jinx already in effect today, so. I know Lucas has a lot going on right now as the collegiate sectionals are taking place. It'll be interesting to see which teams make the field for the ITC. The ISC is already solidified. That group is set, but we'll see what teams get to join them.
Those events not being broadcast this weekend, obviously. We are here with you live from the National Bowling Stadium, but if you are curious and you'd like to check out the scores from any of those sectional qualifiers, you can also find those on X Bowling Tournament Edition. So check that out on the App Store or Google Play, and don't miss a minute of that action either. So you can watch us here on Bowl TV and watch some scores on your phone at the same time. It'll be all bowling all the time.
Now I caught a little bit of the third game. Mr. McNeil was talking about Curtis's, what Curtis was seeing on the lanes out there. I see he's gone to that Black Widow at this game. I'm not sure if that was the same one he used yesterday or not, if he got the thumb sleeve slug fixed with that. It seemed to definitely give him a little bit different reaction, and couldn't get the 7 out that last shot, but it seemed it was a little more crisp at the back end.
Yeah, Curtis was throwing a virtual gravity with some surface on it, a lot of surface on it earlier. It seemed when he missed right, it just did not make the turn left. So a couple washouts and near a bucket. But he's definitely more comfortable with this ball. He said it was his go-to ball, and to see the thumb come out. Aaron said he had 2 in the bag, so perhaps they're interchangeably go-to balls depending on what he sees out there. But anytime you have a catastrophe like that, especially right before a big event like this, hard to get your head straight, but Curtis has been around long enough and is experienced enough that he was able to get that fixed calmly. And everything seems to be rolling a lot smoother for him now. So game 3 of doubles happening right now. He started with 212, 183, and just getting loosened up for singles at this point, right around the corner.
Also bowling on this squad was our second 50-year participant here at the 2013 event, Robert Schleitner from Port Ewan, New York. Made his memorable march down center aisle yesterday. We had a chance to sit down and talk with Robert for a little bit afterwards, and he's had a very cool tournament career here, tournament history. Special moment with the late great Dick Weber in the 2004 event here at the National Bowling Stadium, when he got to cross with him during the doubles and singles portion of his event, which I think any of us would have enjoyed the opportunity to take that in. So be sure to look for that later today on bowl.com. We'll have that story up.
Tell you what, Aaron, my whole mentality changed a little bit yesterday, and you know, it's been a trying couple of weeks here getting situated and all of the changes taking place, and of course we announced some new host cities recently for future events, and just answering a lot of questions, some things happening, getting the website ready, webcams and all that good stuff. But I was standing at center aisle yesterday when Mr. Schleitner came down and you know, gave his little speech about what the last 50 years here meant to him, and you know, it kind of put it all back in perspective about what this event's about, you know, and just how much he appreciated the last 50 years and being able to be a part of it. You know, travel, you know, had vacations with his wife. She was unable to come, you know, to this event here in Reno this year. So obviously missing her, and her not being able to be a part of that, unfortunately. But certainly changed the whole perspective about what this event is and why we're here, and you know, it meant a lot. So very enlightening and refreshing. So to see that and understand that you know, we're here to compete, and you know, it's an annual pilgrimage for many bowlers, and to see the Hartnells yesterday as they were taking the doubles lead, father and son, you know, here to have a good time and a reunion, especially for those guys that, you know, they spent their whole lives together in the same house and now they live in different cities, but for 5 days, you know, they get to be here and be together, and even better, take the lead in doubles and, you know, get your picture on bowl.com and, you know, just share that. You know, that's what this event is all about. It's not about where you are or where the event is or any of those details, or even how you bowl sometimes. So once you lose sight of that, you know, to be able to reel that back in, you know, it feels great to be back here and hearing Mr. Schleitner talk about everything and tell his story, and he was clearly choked up. You know, to walk down that aisle for the 50th time, you know, even walking back there, just when there's no bowling going on, you still get the goosebumps and you still get those butterflies, and then looking up at the flag and, you know, seeing the national anthem, you know, playing on the video screens and everything across the whole house, certainly made me glad to be a part of this event. Long story short.
It took a scenic route to get there, but much appreciated. From time to time, it's you do get caught up in the daily rat race. If, you know, sometimes things are status quo over and over and over again, but yeah, certain events like that certainly remind you what it's all about and why we enjoy what we do so much. All right, we're finishing up the doubles here at the National Bowling Stadium. 10th frame action coming to you live.
those of you just joining us, this is our second live stream broadcast of the year, the 2013 USBC Open Championships. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith here at the National Bowling Stadium. Just the other day, we saw our first look at the team event, the Legend of Dung Ho. Found its way into the team lead, 31-14, a very solid effort on a challenging lane condition. And now our first look at the doubles and singles oil pattern here, watching Curtis Odom, former PBA standout, try to get it done here in doubles and singles. Right now we're on lanes 39 and 40 here at the stadium. Nice crowd on hand for a Sunday afternoon. We are in the final frame of game 3 of doubles. Curtis started with 212, 183. His partner Jason Narlock, a first-timer, who also expressed the excitement of walking into the stadium for the first time just a couple days ago, has started this doubles event with 148, 178. So we'll get things wrapped up here, and we'll not be moving this table. For the first time, we are staying on the same pair for doubles and singles.
Thank goodness for that.
Aaron, you missed the good times when they would flip lanes, so at this point we'd be somehow sliding this table one pair to the left. Luckily not having to cross the stairs or anything, but still challenging, to say the least. And here we are comfortably in one spot as we get to watch 6 bowlers instead of 4 get it done here.
All right, Curtis is stepping up here on lane number 40. Looking to finish strong. He looks so much more comfortable now that he's switched to that Black Widow mat. That was just a fantastic shot. And Curtis may be priming up for a big single set here.
Well, everybody has their go-to ball, and for me it's been the game breaker for many years, and many game breakers. And I believe for you it's been that purple classic zone, if I'm not mistaken. It's been Old Faithful.
Old Faithful indeed.
Sometimes you just get a ball in your hand that it makes magic. And we know our guest earlier, Mr. McNeil, for him it was the 900 global breakout that he threw in 2010 to break the all events record. Took it home, put it in a trophy case, didn't actually ever throw it again until the Open Championships the next year, when he almost won all events. Threw that for 8.5 games and finished 3rd. So I'm sure if he had a box of those, he'd be a happy guy, no doubt. Curtis,
Sure he
second
has
shot.
a few hidden away for a rainy day, so.
I would imagine. Curtis, tough shot there to wrap up game number 3. Finishes with 201 and a 596 set to go along with 589 yesterday. So a pretty decent effort by mortal standards. But, I think Curtis has his bar set a little bit higher. 589, 596, and there's a string of 1900 plus on the line here going into singles. A little bit of work to do, but I think he can get there. I've seen him do it.
Certainly, Curtis is home away from home here at the stadium, and looking to get, like I said, he's looking much more comfortable with that Black Widow in his hands now. And if he can make some quality shots, this could be fun for us, Matt.
Well, as we talked about, all 6 games taking place on one pair of lanes, so how you play them for the first 3 certainly is going to affect how they look for singles, and that's just basic strategy. And in the past, it was how the people before you played them, and how that would affect you, and now you seal your own fate. And some speculation early that that Curtis, among others on this pair, a little bit too far left early, and burning up the hold in the middle. Potential strategy, just start to the outside part of the lane and work your way in. or stay there and ball down. The new Kegel Ice Oil, designed to hold up a lot longer, so you're going to see less transition and certainly not as quickly as in the past, so you have to keep all that in mind. We saw some folks on the team pattern, which is 41 feet. Just the other day, Legend of Dung Ho, fine success, all playing the outside part of the lane, and then changing balls towards the end of game 2. This doubles and singles pattern 2 feet shorter, and early conversations reveal that it does hook a little bit more. So, but the basic strategy is to stay in the same general place as you did on the team event, and just go with a little weaker ball. Doubles leaders, 13:41. But now we'll turn our attention to singles. Curtis Odom up on the left lane. His first shot in singles here on lane 39.
Off to a strong start.
Buries that one, but the number he's looking for right now, singles leader, 7:31, I believe is still the number.
7:31 by Scott Salinas of Racine, Wisconsin.
Curtis, 589, 596, so 731. Certainly will get him to his magic number of 1900. A nice goal to set, especially with his experience and talent. Most of us come out here hoping for 1800, a respectable score for 9 games, and at some point, perhaps, you raise the bar a little bit. Curtis has done so. So looking for another 1900. We'll see if he can throw 35 more shots like the first one. I think we're in business.
Well, Mr. McNeil sat in. As I was taking a gander at the scores, it looked like that 13:41 was going to be good for the squad for the regular doubles lead. So unofficially, the Hartnells are still on top after the beginning of the 11 o'clock squad. 11 o'clock Pacific time.
And if you'd like some details about the Hartnells and their performance yesterday, you can check Bull.com. Read all about it. Father-son take regular doubles lead. As we get heckled by the fans here at the National Bowling Stadium.
I feel it's more you than I, Matt. People know you around here, not me. So.
Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes not so much. But gave me the opportunity to meet a nice young man like Curtis Odom. He's my Facebook friend.
Jealous.
And now we're watching him get it done here in singles. 1 for 1. Get ready to step up on lane 40. Grab that trusted Black Widow. Right, it pays the price, leaves the 210. That ball with some surface on it, minimal reaction on the down lane friction. Like to look at the lane graphs. Some different views, 2D, 3D, and the overhead graph, as well as all the necessary numbers to make it all make sense. You can check out the Open Championships page on bowl.com. That's bowl.com/openchamp. Go down to the lane conditions information box, and it will tell you way more than I ever could about what we're seeing.
That's why we're bringing Eric Pearson and Matt McNeil from time to time, so that's why I sit out as well.
It looks like these guys have found a way to strike here at the start of singles. Doubles did not go so well. Curtis back on the left lane. Great shot there again. That rangefinder down lane that is consistently the place to be at the Open Championships. So he couldn't make it any easier. We'll give you targets all the way down the lane. All you got to do is hit it. No problem. Walks right into the pockets.
You can tell when Curtis likes a shot as well. He kind of hunkers down a little bit, gets that view closer to the lane, and 9 times out of 10 he gets them.
Curtis Odom finish work. Speaking of which, Mr. Smith, I don't know if you were paying attention at our employee league over at High Sierra Lanes on Wednesday, but I think some of the best finish work in the game, Frankie May. He's over at the Visionary booth, and he's been around for many, many years in PBA ranks. He was going against me, and he's also always very animated, and when he likes the shot, he's down on one knee, pulls the string. You know the routine. He did that against me 12 consecutive times for a perfect game, the first one of the year in the employee league, and you know, always fun to watch these classic guys get it done, and always entertaining. They're showmen for sure, and hopefully we'll see some more of that out of Curtis as the next 3 games progress.
It was pretty exciting to watch Mr. May, being that it was a late league. The house got pretty quiet, except after he struck, and then it got really loud. So congratulations, Frankie. It was fun to watch. And thanks for doing it against Matt, and not our team, but you have plenty of time to do that. So
Frankie's son Ryan actually shot 298 here at the Open Championships a couple of years back. Very talented bowling family. We've seen some great scores on the live stream as well. A couple 299s over the years. Saw Mike Lickstein in this building shoot 299 with a burgundy hammer. Of course, we saw Matt McNeil shoot 2 300s and 2 800s live here on Bowl TV.
Mr. McNeil does enjoy the camera, especially the Bowl TV cameras.
And one of his new teammates, as a matter of fact, back in 2011. Voigtlander shot 300 on the live stream broadcast with Lynn's Lakers. That was the year before Matt joined that group.
And the rest is history.
There's no such thing as the Canizaro jinx here on the live stream. It seems that these cameras, they make people bowl better. Great shot there from Curtis. He's been struggling on the right lane. And you wouldn't know it by seeing that shot. Curious about any of the details of the Open Championships, any of the rules, future events, past events, standings, stories, you name it, you can find all that on bowl.com. A whole page dedicated to the Open Championships. And it's our job to keep that page fresh, filled with information. Stories have been plentiful so far here in 2013. We have another one going up today. Our second gentleman to reach 50 years of participation. Second of 9 this year. The 157th in history, Robert Schleitner. Learn all about him later today. And after Curtis shoots 868, we'll have something to write about as well.
An 868 would have to take down one of those banners, man. Mr. Bo Gergen's 862 would be no longer be the highest set in Open Championships history.
Well, some records were made to be broken.
While we're on the subject, as we have the record banners in front of us, Matt, certainly some intimidating scores up there, but if you were a betting man, which one of those regular, or the high series for singles, doubles, team all events, a lot of big numbers. Which one of those is the most attainable in your opinion?
Well, I think at some point that team record's going to come down. 35-37 dates back to 1993. We've seen some close calls and great scores over the years. I think it's between that one and team all events, 10,425. We had a lot of teams awfully close to that number. A couple of 10,200s in recent years. Last year, a down year in team all events, 99.54 the winning number. But if I was gonna place a bet right now, it would be on team all events going down first.
All right. It's been the record since 1993. That's
for the team event, 96 for team all events, Pollard's Bowl, and that team includes some Hall of Famers. Bill Spigner to name one. I believe his wife Barb was checking in the chat room earlier.
It's a very talented group from mostly from the great state of Indiana.
Great state of Indiana.
I'm a bit biased.
I agree. Any place that has White Castle is a great place to me.
Till the next day.
But while we were blabbering, Curtis Odom with another open frame, this time on the left lane. So now he's got the right figured out. Miscue on the left. See if we can get back on track. 83 in the 5th frame. Mr. Odom. Robert Longray having a nice start here to singles. He's a 10-pin after 3 in a row on the right. His son Chris also clean here through 6. And of course, as soon as I say that,
An open frame.
An open frame. Maybe we are bad luck. Oh wait, no. I know what you're gonna say. Maybe I'm bad luck.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And you have backup on that. Eric Pearson also believes that I am just an all-around black cloud, whether it's bowling or blackjack. You have a question in the chat room if we're gonna work up a notables list. Well, with our transition to our new registration system, looking up bowlers on site is a little more challenging than it has been in the past. We have put together a nice list of bowlers who we'd love to know when they're coming, and our next step is to dive into the system and figure those out and get something published on bowl.com. So Folks out there, bowling fans, will have an idea of when some of the top players are coming in. Hopefully we'll have that soon. Make sure Aaron Smith is hard at work on that.
We'll be burning the midnight oil to get that together.
Much appreciated. That's why you make the big bucks.
It's another split for Curtis. Maybe in no man's land right now. It just seems after a few nice shots to finish up doubles there and to start singles, it's seems to be getting away from him a little bit.
Well, we talked earlier, and again, you know, the way that you attack the lanes certainly can affect you later and affect your ball reaction. And Curtis started today pretty far inside with a lot of surface. Had a couple misses to the right. Had some hold in the middle early. But, ball change in game 3 of doubles, and things not going particularly well here in singles. 3 strikes and 3 opens here in game number 1.
His doubles partner Jason Narlock was also pretty deep to start today. Not using as much surface, but still in the deeper part of the lane than what Mr. McNeil was expecting to see.
Now, I know Curtis and I talked a couple days ago about him going out to bowl in the Bowlers Journal Championships right next door here on the high side of the house, and he'd be bowling in the senior division. And instant cash number for singles, I believe 620. And 1220 for doubles, if I'm not mistaken. So a chance to bowl a couple games, get comfortable on the pattern, and potentially instantly earn some prize money. Don't know if he did end up taking advantage of that. I know he was going to talk to his teammates. But certainly for those of you headed this way at some point between now and July, plan some time to compete at the Bowlers Journal and get your look at the doubles and singles lane condition.
Just like that, another nice shot. Looked like he made a move on that lane, got a little bit deeper. Put 10 in the pit.
See if Chris Longray can keep it clean here. Working on a strike, stepping up on the left lane. 7 count in the first frame, but 9 or better the rest of the way. Frame number 8. That one didn't sound good from here. Couldn't see it.
Ran a little high, left the 4-7. Was able to get the 10 out. That is a Pearl IQ. Chris is throwing. Probably not too many old Reno pros out here, so.
While we have an opportunity, we are watching singles here at 2013 USBC Open Championships. Curtis Odom, the man of the hour. Aaron Smith, let's have a rundown of the standings. Start with the singles and maybe some all events as well.
Not a problem, Matt. Once again, this is why I get paid the big money. All right, in singles, which, as Matt alluded to, we are in. Currently leading, Scott Salinas of Racine, Wisconsin, with a 731. Sitting in second, Henry Dykeman of Pauling, New York, 722. Third, Jeremy Wampler of Wichita, Kansas. Always had the Wichita guys up there with 700 on the nose. Currently fourth, Nazareno Pignati. Hope I got that right. From Baldwin Park, California, 693. And rounding out the top 5, Michael Krupp from Spring, Texas, 685. As we move on to all events, I know we've thrown this name around a few times today. Rick Thomas from Middleton, Wisconsin is currently leading with 2051. Our singles leader, Scott Salinas, second with 2019. Those are the only 2 above 2000 to this point. Our friends from the Great North, Michael Snow from Windsor, Ontario, 1983. Sits in third. And fourth, Bo Johnson from Huron, South Dakota, 1954. And rounding out the top 5, PBA 50 bowler Michael Henry from Brunswick, Ohio, who we talked to earlier in the tournament as well, sitting fifth with 1948. So those are your regular all singles and all event scores. For those of you curious about the classified scores, in singles currently leading, James Kennedy of Plattsburgh, Missouri, 631. John Schrader, who I believe bowled the 7 o'clock squad this morning, out of Enid, Oklahoma, second with 625. John Pelliter, man, these are some fun last names, sitting third, 608. He's from South Elgin, Illinois. And fourth, Mark Plute from Montrose, Colorado, 599. Rounding out the top 5, Tyler Stockland from Hannaford, North Dakota, 593. Stockland's also leading classified all events. Talked about that a little earlier today, with 1777. And second, Roy Uehira from Honolulu, 1698. Jeff Geemer of Miami Shores, Florida, is sitting third with 1666. Rory Thomas, Mesa, Arizona, 1655. And in 5th place in classified all events, Thomas Fisher of North Bend, Nebraska, 1631.
And there you have it. There's the rundown. If you'd like to check out more scores from the Open Championship, just go to the Open Championships page on bowl.com. Click on the Scores tab in the top module or the Scores information box. You'll find leaderboards and individual results. If you're curious about what's happening right now across the house, get on your iPhone, get on your Droid, smartphone, whatever device, and find the X Bowling Tournament Edition app at the App Store or Google Play. You can check out live scoring, real-time scoring from the Open Championships, as well as a handful of other cool features, bells and whistles, and you can sign up for the 90-frame X game. You have a chance to strike in designated frames and earn some prize money while you're at the Open Championship. So check that out. X Bowling Tournament Edition on your smartphone or other similar device. In the meantime, I'd like to clarify a discussion that's happening in the chat room right now about PBA members. Just to answer that, PBA members are allowed to compete in this event. You can have 2 per team in the team event or 1 on a doubles team. PBA members may not participate in the classified division. And just to differentiate between a regular PBA member and those who were exempt on the PBA tour, the gentlemen that you often see on TV on Sundays who are out there making their livings, who were exempt during the 11-12 season, are not eligible to bowl this event. So about 50 guys not able to bowl the Open Championships. Everybody else is welcome. 2 per team. Hope that clears that up. Into the 10th frame, first game of singles. Longray sails it past the headpin on the left. Nice start to this game. possible 196 here in the opener. Curtis Odom, our star of the day, will be stepping up next for his 10th frame. Things not going well for him here in game 1. 4 open frames. As we wait for Curtis's turn, let's take a look at the upcoming live stream schedule from the USBC Open Championship. The whole live stream schedule is up on bowl.com on the right side of the main page. You see all the events coming up on Bowl TV, but for us here in Reno, our next broadcast will be 2007 regular singles champ Chip Akey, who is on site working with us to make this great event happen every year. So he'll be taking to the lanes for doubles and singles with his son, Christian. That'll be on March 18th, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. We'll be here bright and early. And then our next broadcast after that is a biggie. It is the return of Nicholas J's Pro Shop, the defending regular team champs. Youngsters, college players, and some just fresh out of college kids from Wisconsin came through big last year on March 5th. Shot 34.01 and held on all the way until July to take home the team title. So they'll be back. You get to see them live here on bowl.com and Bowl TV on March 29th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. As we get into April, some of the highlights, we'll see USBC Hall of Famer Leanne Holstenberg, defending singles champ Henry Tietz, Team USA's Shannon O'Keefe and her husband Ryan, Team USA coach, and the main guy down at the ITRC running things, assistant coach to Rod Ross. Also Kim Trail-Kearney, part of that coaching staff. But Brian and Shannon and their talented teams will make a run here in April. Another exciting one I think we might be looking forward to is soon to be USBC Hall of Famer Rick Steelsmith. John Jerbinsky just won the USBC Team USA trials. So also both former standout collegiate players, looking forward to that. And then the gentleman you heard from earlier today, Matt McNeil and his team will be on the lanes starting off in May. So again, that whole schedule available on bowl.com. Check it out. Go to the search box at the top right, type in live stream, and then you'll be able to find the live stream schedule from this year's event. And if you just want to see what's coming up in general on Bowl TV, the main page of bowl.com on the right-hand side. And Lucas Wiseman is packing up the gear. He's taking it on the road soon. In a couple of weeks, he'll be headed to Lincoln, Nebraska for the ITCs and ISCs collegiate action. Going to crown some national champions. Right now, Curtis Odom shaking his head, finishes game 1 of singles with 156. His doubles partner, Jason Narlock's going to close things out here. Finishes with 159.
Looks like Curtis might have tried his other Black Widow on that fill ball. Seems like he took it right back to the bag there, so definitely trying to find something for game number 2 and the rest of singles here.
Curtis, as you said, digging in the bag. One 200 game on this pair. First game of singles. It's 39-foot lane condition. Take a look at it on the Open Championships page, or you can bowl on it right next door. Bowlers Journal Championship. So check that out. So we have a ball return on lane 40. Problem solved.
It's coming back now. And looking around here in singles, not a lot of big numbers around us, Matt. I see a 222 and 220 on the pair to our right, but looks like we could use a few more strikes out here.
We do have a quick question in the chat room. Does anybody know how many PBA titles Curtis Odom has? If I recall correctly, his best finish on tour was 2nd place. As always, if I'm wrong, somebody will quickly point that out, no doubt. But fairly confident that in talking with Curtis back in 2011, we did reveal that he was close on a number of occasions. Never quite got there.
I believe Curtis was a Steve Nagy Award winner, though.
1986, and we determined earlier that Matt McNeil was crawling around in his diapers back in '86. What were you up to, Mr. Smith?
More or less the same thing. I was a spry young lad of 2 years of age in '86, so not a whole lot. Learned the whole walking, talking thing, which has paid off immensely here at the Open Championships.
Well, this certainly is a big place, so yeah, walking around here, shaking hands, running down scores. 78 lanes in the building, 64 for the Open Championships, 10 being used for the Bowler's Journal. And of course, 10 brand new lanes downstairs, the 900 Global Showcase lanes. And it is hustling and bustling down there. There is the opportunity for a coaching session, a practice session on the team pattern, 2 great side events, the 2-game challenge and the Who's Got to Look Baker Bonanza, both presented by 900 Global. And of course, the front half of the Kingpin Bowling Lounge is where you can find out your brackets results. Everybody headed down that way at some point. Certainly, please take advantage of all those great opportunities to compete, earn some prize money. And while we're shamelessly plugging all of our great features here at the Open Championships, for those of you interested in bowling in the 2-game challenge, absolutely free. There's a way you can do that. Aaron Smith, do you know what that is?
I believe I do, Matt. It starts with mybowlingvacation.com.
Absolutely. If you get on mybowlingvacation.com, the official travel site of USBC events, and you book 3 nights at one of our featured hotels, 3 room nights earns you a $40 voucher to compete at the 2-game challenge. All you have to do is show your receipt at the tournament desk. And it will print out on your confirmation. Just bring that in. They'll have a list to match you up against to make sure you're indeed registered and paid to stay at one of those luxurious hotels right across the street. Silver Legacy, El Dorado, Circus. You get to bowl for free, just like that, all through mybowlingvacation.com, so check that out.
Money in the bank. I heard Mr. McNeil's triumph at skee ball at Circus earlier on the live stream. He should be pretty good at that, I would think.
Accuracy, very, very important. The lane conditions are a little bit drier down there on the skee ball, but glad he didn't challenge me to that either. As Curtis steps up here, frame number 2, and opening frame 1.
And when things aren't going well, they're not going well. And that was 4-9 in the first frame, and looked like he got in the right part of the lane and just caught a tough break there. And yeah, he's certainly fishing right now.
We've had a good run of good luck on our live stream broadcast. Still plenty of time for some fireworks. But things not going well early here. There's 1-200 on the pair for game number 1 on this 39-foot lane condition. We do appreciate everybody tuning in to check this out. Our first look at the doubles and singles pattern live on Bowl TV.
Chris Longray made a ball change here. Singles in the second game. Looks like he actually went to something with a little more surface from that Pearl IQ he was using earlier today. Chris is up on your left lane trying to clean up 7-pin here.
It's their 5th game on this pair of lanes. A lot of changes here at the Open Championships in 2013. Brand new schedule, fresh oil for every squad. Doubles and singles included. The new schedule, doubles and singles will take place at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10:30 p.m. We had our first 10:30 squad last night. And team events are back-to-back at 3 and 7. Of course, we've already talked about the 2 different lane conditions and 6 on a pair without moving to a different pair for singles. So a lot of excitement and anticipation around the new schedule. Everything running smoothly and on time.
That is true. The 10:30 was, couldn't ask for a better start time last night, so unfortunately we gained an hour while we were working, so it looked much later than it was, but
these guys were already marched and practicing, ready to bowl for score at 11 a.m. So everything right on track here with our changes in 2013. And the excitement continues in 2014 as, again, both the Open and Women's Championships return to Reno. Registration already is open for the 2014 Open Championships. You definitely want to get online, get your team together. It's all done in real time. So once you pay for your spot, you get to pick and lock in your doubles and singles times as well. Team event, you name it. You get to choose from what's available. So the longer you wait, the less chance there is of getting what you want.
so you could say, get on that horse, ball.
Get on the horse ball. Courtesy of Emil Williams Jr. So yes, get on that horse, get online, get on bowl.com, register for 2014. Some great incentives for folks, team captains. Get on there. One incentive, of course, you get your pick of your dates and times. The earlier you sign up, that opened on March 1st. So get on there now. Some other great incentives coming up. Stay tuned for those. Cool incentives for this year. We already mentioned My Bowling Vacation. Book 3 room nights. Earn a free entry into the 900 Global 2-Game Challenge. If you're a VIP, a lot of great perks to that program. And if you stay at one of those Tribe properties, Silverado, how about that? Eldorado, Silver Legacy, and Circus Circus. You can earn some extra food and drink money while you're there. A lot of great coupons available here in 2013. You can find a sample coupon book on the Open Championships page as well. Just go to the publications information box. Great shot there from Curtis. Rings a 10-pin. He was looking for a double after open spare here in game 2.
It's the front 4 for Jason Narlock. Looks like he's getting lined up, getting comfortable here during his first championship appearance.
Is he getting locked in? Narlocked in? How about that? See what I did there?
Impressive.
That's what we do, sir. Wordsmiths. And Aaron Smiths.
I prefer the latter, but that's personal preference. Looks like a nice ball change for Chris Longray. It's a double for him in the second game here after a 193 open.
Ted Short. We haven't talked much about Ted Short today. Great shot there from him.
Ted's also rolling an IQ Pearl. Possibly the most noticeable ball out here.
Well, a lot of folks like to chime in and ask us what works, what balls are being thrown successfully here. And of course, we have a whole bunch of experts in the building just right behind us, vendor row. You check out one of the pro shop booths here. Every company is represented. So if you have a favorite, if you're curious about what's working from that company, certainly stop by and check it out. Actually, the 900 Global booth is downstairs on the 900 Global Showcase lane, so don't forget about them either. Go visit with Richard Twyman and Matt McNeil, see what's working from the global side to everybody else upstairs here on the 4th floor. Some familiar faces, so if you have a favorite ball driller or somebody whose opinion you trust, definitely come by early. Check those guys out. Or just stop by the media relations office and Aaron Smith will tell you all about it.
That's right. And I have cookies now too, so.
Yes, it seems to be the trend. Everybody bringing Aaron Smith gifts.
I'm pretty popular, man.
I'm starting to see that. That's 3 gifts in 1 week.
It's kind enough to have the folks from Honolulu, excuse me there, who took over the classified team lead, brought me some treats after we wrote a story about him, so I may actually share those with Matt, like other treats throughout the year.
Well, I will say, officially so far, nothing will top the day that Emil was on the live stream broadcast. You could hear him starving, and talked a little bit about Popeye's chicken and how good it would be to have some. And lo and behold, as soon as we got done, put the gear away, there was some on his desk waiting for him.
Wow.
So when you become that powerful,
Could really go for an awful right about now. If anyone out there in internet land is feeling generous.
testing the theory. There's Kirby checking in from Houston. I have a feeling he will not be the one delivering. You're awful, but Kirby, thanks for tuning in, fellow left-hander. Appreciate having you on the broadcast. And everybody else joining us today, this relaxing Sunday afternoon here in Reno. I know it was about 35 degrees when I came in today, some ice on the car, so nice to be inside watching bowling. Sundays are for bowling.
Love the lanes, Matt. Reno actually hasn't been too bad weather-wise, though. It does get a little chilly at night, but throughout the day, we've had mostly sunny days since we got here middle of February. Usually, it's topping 50 degrees, 60 degrees on a few of these days, so. The weather at the National Bowling Stadium is just right.
If you're nearby, certainly come visit us in person. Check it out, grab a seat up in the bleachers. If you're far away, thanks for joining us. Hope to see you soon. just joining us, this is game 2 of singles here in lane 39 and 40. Jason Narlock trying to make some magic. Started this event with 159, but now has the front 6. So one more strike out of him, and that scoreboard is going to change colors, and everybody's going to start looking. But you guys at home have a front row seat.
Curtis Odom stepping up on the right lane here in the 7th frame. A nice shot there. Curtis has been around the pocket past few shots, just hasn't gotten the carry to line up, but gets all time to fall there.
Timer, Jason Narlock stepping up, looking for 7 in a row. Never a doubt.
Very nice shot by Mr. Narlock. And just like that, we have red X's.
And the crowd already forming behind us. Or maybe it's because we're right in the walkway.
We are the definition of a fire hazard today, Matt.
So hopefully the fire marshal is not watching our broadcast on Bowl TV, but
and if he is, thanks for tuning in.
Come on down.
Luckily, Matt will be able to unpack this entire setup in about 15 minutes. He's done it so many times, so.
Just gotta unplug 2 things and we can move this table anywhere safely, out of harm's way. But we don't want to move anywhere just yet. Jason Narlock, front 7, front and center. So we got some lefties checking in the chat room. Always appreciate left-handed perspective and the support. Very nice shot there
by Ted Short.
Ted Short.
All right, time for the 8th frame.
Get a chance to go in the bag with Jason Narlock?
I did earlier.
I believe, and I would put money on it. He told me something yesterday about throwing like a 20-year-old Brunswick Quantum. And it's possible that was it.
That may be it, Matt. That was, I talked briefly with Jason and their whole team. He was throwing an IQ Pearl earlier in the day, and that is definitely a Quantum.
How about that? You saw the label, the great big yellow Q on the side of it. He told me yesterday when we met that he recently shot a big set with that ball, and it's rolling pretty smooth off his hand today.
Similar to your Game Breaker or Curtis's Black Widow, something you just can't get rid of.
Well, I did just come across a purple urethane ebonite nitro, but soon we'll have some holes in it. So for the nostalgia, we saw our lefty on the broadcast just the other day, Vale, Floria, throwing a black U-dot. And of course our friendly lefty Brett Wolf, Andrew Kane, USBC president, both well known for throwing blue hammers. So it's always good to have something a little bit old school in the bag, and Mr. Narlock proving that right now with the front 8.
I like how you say that you came across that ball.
You never know what you're gonna find lying around in an old bowling center somewhere. And a gentleman to our left, Scott Schlarth, also was making a run, had the front 5, but that ended with a 9 spare. Strikes aplenty. That's what happens in between. That's the difference between a load of cash and a potential eagle. You gotta fill those frames. Curtis with the flat dime there on the right lane. Clearly frustrated. 156 to start singles. Possible 196 here. Game 2.
Stepping up in the 9th, Jason Narlock. He is locked. He is Narlocked.
He is Narlocked in. There you go.
Front 9 here in game 2 of singles.
You're watching it live here on Bowl TV. Tell all your friends. If you're at home, at a computer. Curtis Odom shot 300, first one of the year in 2011. Now his doubles partner, first timer, Jason Narlock with the front 9 with a 20-year-old bowling ball.
Now the anticipation.
Folks are starting to crowd around. X's on the scoreboard have turned red after 7 in a row.
Folks sticking around for a chance to see history. Much like all of you joining in today. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. Pam Coate with the front 5, 2 pairs to our left as well from Castleberry, Florida. So who knows, Matt, this may be our honor scores and bunches day, week.
I think the floodgates are about to break.
Year, perhaps.
Well, this is about when it started, 2011. Curtis shot the first of 52. Had a record 16,800s that year. Richard Yearling, now up on the left, had the only 200 game on this pair in game 1. And he's looking at the baby split. No problem. Strike here on the fill. Give him 182 here in game 2. His head short, however. Not coming up short here in game 2. Started with 138, but just through 3 in a row and finished with 203. Nice improvement there. Narlock is going to step up on the right lane, 159 in game 1, front 9. You're watching it live on Bowl TV.
Great shot to open the 10 frame here for Jason Narlock, the front 10.
Fantastic shot there. Hits that rangefinder down lane we talked about earlier.
Right over it, never a doubt.
Ball just runs into the pocket. Curtis Odom misses that rangefinder to the left. Leaves the 4-7.
Crowd has gotten even bigger.
Well, we're gonna have to.
As Jason goes up for his 11th.
Here it is, folks. Jason Narlock in front 10. That is 11. That is officially our highest game of the year, but can he finish it off? Join his doubles partner in the history books. We'll see here in just a minute.
Matt, I couldn't see on that one. Was that a little left of the rangefinder?
It looked a board or two left, but it held nicely. Folks, there's still time. Call your friends, tell them to get on bowl.com, Bowl TV right now. Jason Narlock stepping up 11 in a row. Looking for the first perfect game of 2013. Ball is on the lane. Oh, and he leaves that 7-pin for 299. He is down on the approach, Don Johnson style.
Very Don Johnson.
Great shot there.
Congratulations to Mr. Narlock on a 299, that stubborn 7-pin. Talk about ball change, going to the quantum.
That was a great shot there. 7 does not want to cooperate. A heck of a story for a first timer, and we'll get to tell that story later today on bowl.com. See from here, his heart is beating. You can see his hand shaking.
Gets a hug from Curtis. Now he can start breathing again, man.
Yeah. Great effort there from the first timer. But as I told Bo Gergen back in 2009, good run, keep it up. And he certainly did. Mr. Gergen followed that 299 up with another 299. He also left the 7-pin of both of those and then continued on to shoot 862. The highest 3-game set in tournament history. And claim the 2009 regular singles title.
As well as a banner up here, the highest series.
Now, there probably won't be a singles title for Mr. Narlock, but that is a heck of a memory for his first time out. See if Mr. Narlock can slow down his heart rate a little bit, get up there and keep throwing it like he has been. There's no quit in that quantum.
I have a friend back home, one Tim Croy, who still relies quite heavily on a handful of fire quantums from back in the day, so whenever things seem to go awry, pull one of those out and seems to get right back on track. So they certainly have their longevity. And it's so much easier the shot after, right, Matt? Just goes up there and dead nuts that shot.
About that. Well, it looks like Bill Brunkow down on 31 and 32 is following suit. So Pin's falling over there. He's got the front 6 right now.
From Richmond, Illinois. Similar start of 161 first game. Looking to bounce back nicely here.
Keep our eye on him as well. There's Mr. Narlock. Maybe he can finish it off this game. The word is out. People checking in on bowl.com. We appreciate it. Also want to give a shout out to the big guy, Terry Bigham. stopping by on this Sunday afternoon to see what we're up to here. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith live at the National Bowling Stadium 2013 Open Championships. I told you we'd see some fireworks. It's almost a guarantee when we set up the cameras, something happens. And it wasn't looking promising there for a while, but Mr. Narlock took care of that and kept our streak alive.
We're 2 for 2.
New leader and honor score.
And Bill Brunkow now with the front 7. A few pairs to our left. More red X's up there, Matt. We're on the cusp of the 300s happening. Big scores are getting ready to roll in.
Well, a lot of great bowlers headed this way very soon and until July. There's not a slow day here at the Open Championships as far as the possibilities. And most often, it's the guy you've never heard of. Comes here to make a name for himself, or the lady, sorry. We have had 8 perfect games by the women at this event. Handed out a couple titles as well. Wendy McPherson, the first to grab a regular division title. And of course, talking about banners, Brenda Padilla. Half of the regular doubles record, 1566 with her husband, Steven, 2009 doubles champ. Shot from Curtis, he starts with a double here in game 3.
Not to be outdone.
Here comes Narlock. See if we can get back on track. Got that one a little bit wide right.
It's definitely wide of target there, and that's the price you pay. Eric Pearson said you won't be seeing too many of those, but
well, if you're lucky, you get the 10 out and leave just the 2. I personally was fortunate enough many times in recent years to, you know, be in a similar position, leaving the 3-7. But, able to get one or both to go. Yeah, of course, had they not, the scores would have been atrocious, but you gotta have a little bit of luck sometimes.
it never hurts. And Bill Brunkow stepping up on lane 32 for his 8th frame. Once again, out of our camera's reach, but let's see. Looks like he got it. There's some applause over there, so. The youngster, Bill Brunkow.
Bill says, whatever you can do, I can do better. Let's see, front 8. Still a long way to go. Now it's just starting to get hard. The pressure. First 8, that's easy. About the time the cameras usually get out there. So we'll let you get 8 or 9 under the radar, but then we'll be there to watch the rest of the game. So you got to really step up big on the big stage, so we'll see. Curtis Odom now, 3 in a row. Narlock trying to get back on track. Curtis, our featured bowler today on our live stream, started singles with 156, 175, looking to make up for that now. Narlock, big strike on the right lane.
Back on track, finding that rangefinder down lane, and it looks like Bill Brunkow has ended his streak.
It's like a 4-pin after the front 8. So our first 300 will wait at least another squad. Unless Curtis Odom wants to outdo his doubles partner. We'll see. Curtis with the front 3 here.
Steve Warren on the pair to our right from San Diego as the front 4 to start game number 3. So we'll see if anything comes of these. The excitement never stops here at the National Bowling Stadium.
If you're curious about upcoming live stream broadcasts, definitely hop on bowl.com. Check out bowl.com/livestream and read all about it. A lot of great events coming up in the coming weeks from both here at the Open Championships and on the road. Lucas Wiseman headed to Lincoln, Nebraska, for example, in the middle of April for some collegiate action, and we'll be here regularly between now and July. Check out the best of the best here at the Open and the nearby Women's Championships, so don't miss that. bowl.com/livestream for more information.
Stands for Jason Narlock here in the 4th. After his run at perfection in game number 2 singles, finishing with 299 after a stubborn 7-pin neglected to go down.
Here comes Curtis looking for 4 in a row.
Still using one of those Black Widows that he brought along to Reno with him.
4-pin does not cooperate, so Odom's run ends at 3. After this event is over, one of us will chat with Mr. Narlock and find out all about his 299 game and his first time at the Open Championships, what it's been like being in the venue, walking down center aisle, and then the pressure of stepping up on the approach. All eyes on you. The bid for 300. Couldn't have thrown it any better, I don't think. 7-pin didn't cooperate, but we'll hear more about it. Read that on bowl.com later today.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a much better shot. Might have been just a hair inside of that rangefinder down lane from my angle, but perhaps the speed with the might have been up a little bit as well with the just with the excitement of having a chance at perfection here at the Open Championships.
Certainly a lot of adrenaline, even for us, and we were just watching. Up on the left lane. Great shot, flat dime. Didn't like the release on that one. Spare no problem. Mr. Smith, it's about time for a station identification. For all you bowling fans out there, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Sport of Bowling USBC or at USBC for all the latest headlines and information from the Open Championships and all across the bowling world.
Game of singles here at the National Bowling Stadium. You're watching former PBA standout Curtis Odom take to the lanes. The story today has been Jason Narlock, who will be up on the left lane after Ted Short finishes up his 6th frame here. Mr. Narlock, after a rough 159 start to singles, came back with the front 11 strikes before a 7-pin cost him a chance of perfection. He finished with a 299 game. There's Jason stepping up on lane 39. He's going back in time with technology here. He's using a older Quantum, which is seems to be his go-to ball. It's really certainly proven to be a good ball change here late in the event. Seems found a little extra hook there as he goes Brooklyn. Seems a little confused by that. He didn't quite expect it to jump that much. He'll gladly take it here at the USBC Open Championships. Curtis Odom will be up on lane 40 here. Starting off this game with 3 strikes. He's gone 9 spare, 9 spare. To our right, Steve Warren, San Diego, has just put up 7 strikes in a row after a 222-184 start.
All right, so you're watching the final frames of singles here at the National Bowling Stadium. Curtis Odom about to wrap things up, and Steve Warren right next door. If he has anything to say about it, we're going to stay on the air. 222-184, now the front 7.
Perhaps a slight adjustment to the cameras here if Mr. Warren can continue his run.
Like Stephen Padilla knew we were talking about him. Checking into the chat room, Mr. Padilla. Hope things are going well in Texas. Him and Brenda at home with the young lady. I believe she just turned 1. Madeline. They'll be out here later in the event, trying to claim another doubles title. One of the cooler moments that I've experienced at this event is being a part of their day. Setting the doubles record. Steve Warren will save his excitement for another day as a 3-pin and ends his run at perfection. So
looks like the squad may go without the elusive 300 we've been looking for. So those are the only red X's we currently see as singles and doubles wraps up here.
a lot of close calls. Keep you on your toes. But no magic here at 11 a.m. Our next live stream broadcast from the Open Championships will be on March 18th, bright and early. We'll be here for the 7 a.m. squad to watch 2007 regular singles champ Chippewa trying to make it 2 in this building. He'll be bowling doubles with his son Christian, I believe, is the plan. Always subject to change, but we'll be there nonetheless. Check that out. March 18th, 7 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern. And the rest of our live stream schedule, bowl.com/livestream. Gets you all the information.
I believe that's our only 7 a.m. squad live stream for the year. That should be a fun one, though. I'm looking forward to that one after working late the night before. Luckily, this is a 24-hour town, so.
Well, you might get your awful after all. If it's not waiting for you on your desk when you get done here, certainly you can bring a couple in. Have a breakfast awful as that shot from Narlock was not awful. It's a 4-bagger.
Looks like he made the move on 39 there. His last shot actually ran Brooklyn. So made the right move to get back into the 1-3 pocket.
Curtis Odom, a solid game 3 here after 156 and 175. Possible 236, so it'd be nice to go out big. Definitely appreciate everybody joining us on this Sunday afternoon.
Folks are moving around getting ready for the 3 p.m. team event coming up next here. For 125 days at the National Bowling Stadium, 2013 Open Championships, which kicked off on March 1st, and we'll see its tournament end run on July 7th.
Frustrations continue for Odom, another flat 10 on the left lane.
Narlock looking to finish strong here. He still has a 248 possibility here, so that would put him at just over 700. 706 max, I believe. Just not too shabby after a 159 start.
We'll get him in the top 10.
With all three in the 10th, would actually put him in 3rd place. Scott Salinas currently leading regular singles, excuse me, with 731. Henry Dykeman, 722 in 2nd. And Jeremy Wampler in 3rd with 700. So not a bad way to end your first Open Championships experience. Walking away with a chance at your name on the leaderboard, an honor score, as well as some time on Bowl TV.
And you get to bowl doubles with Curtis Odom.
Where can I sign up at?
Well, I think after this experience, Narlock's not going anywhere. Plenty of other nice guys out there, though. Perhaps one day you'll get to bowl with your hero, Kenny Parks. Maybe you can talk him into shooting up with you.
Kenny will also be featured on our live streaming later in the tournament. I believe that's towards the end of May. He'll be joining Bob Learn as well as a few other PBA 50 players on the lanes. Kenny, saw Kenny posted on Facebook earlier today along with our good friend Jeff Riggles. I guess there's a little snow in Council Bluffs, Iowa at the regional there this weekend, so hopefully safe travels to all those folks as they try to get back home, and hopefully nothing too crazy. It's hard to believe live stream number 2 is almost in the books here, Matt.
Time flies when you have a headset on, it seems like. Doubles and singles this year, slated for 3.5 hours compared to 2:20 in the past.
As soon as we say that, we need a ball return on main court.
Everybody wants their money's worth, no doubt.
Curtis Odom's 10th frame as Richard Yearling finishes up with a 192 game and a 573 series.
Curtis looking to finish strong. Was having trouble with 10 pins here in game 3. Clean through 9, however. Great shot there, but once again, the flat dime doesn't want to cooperate. Need a little more pop down lane. I think maybe something shiny even. Need a little bit slower through the front. Leave a chance to react on the back end to friction. What? It's already too late.
Word of the day, flat dime by Matt Canizaro.
Cannot take credit for that, however, it will live on. Here in the Open Championships live stream booth.
I ironically, Matt Canzaro has never left a flat dime.
That is correct. Curtis Odom finishes with 212 for a 543 singles effort.
Definitely not the way Curtis wanted to perform out here, but along the lines, you got to see his doubles partner put together a very nice 299 game here in singles, and almost joined him as becoming the first bowler of the tournament year to roll 300.
Taking a picture here. Somebody please alert Mr. Narlock. You're not done. He's savoring the Open Championships experience.
As he should.
But sir, you have 3 more shots to throw. Let's get up there and finish strong.
Maybe he's checking his ex-bowling app on his phone.
Which is not
See how he's doing in the
allowed at the Open Championships, by the way, while participating. No electronic devices or cell phones. Sir, here we go. Back to the action.
All right, looking to finish with 248 here with all 3 strikes in the 10th.
See if the Quantum can do its magic. One more frame. Got that one in. It held, though. A little more hold in the middle this year. Maybe he was calling tournament manager Dwayne Hagan to see if he could get a do-over for game number 1. 159, 299.
Certainly some regrets in that first game. I'm not sure when he pulled out this bowling ball, but it's been strong ever since.
Got that one in as well. That did not hold, leaves the 610. Still a solid singles effort and a very nice comeback. Possible 236.
It covers this up. That'll be 694 for his series, which will put him in 4th place, bearing any other changes that we may have not seen.
I'd like to invite Curtis back here to chat with us, but kind of afraid to talk to him right now. I know he's one of the nicest guys in all of the world, but sometimes you just need a few minutes after things don't go so well.
Perhaps Mr. Narlock will be a little more willing. That concludes our
We'll feel out that situation here for a minute, but yeah, we're done
our
for
bowling
the day.
at least for today here at the 2013 USBC Open Championships. Jason Narlock finished with 234 that game for a 692 set. Which is still get his name up on the leaderboard here, which is currently right behind us here on lanes 39, 40, 41, and 2. Looks like Mr. Narlock will be joining us, so.
And gonna go run grab the camera and some paperwork, and Mr. Narlock will be here to chat with us for a few minutes. Have him put the headset on and we'll hear all the details.
Well, first,
Sure.
thanks for having me.
Absolutely, that was some great bowling there after game number 1.
Well, I was out to lunch, game number 1. I couldn't get lined up. The back ends were too touchy. A lot of carry down if you try to hook the ball. A lot of carry down anywhere down the lane. In practice, I was getting a real good look. Beautiful back end, and second, third frame into doubles, it was gone. 210, 210, and if you try to tighten up and adjust to it, it was going through the nose.
Well, not a bad first appearance at the Open Championships. I know you came in and saw the venue for the first time the other day. Got a feel for that. First walk down center aisle, and now the opportunity to bowl with one of the finest gentlemen in the sport, Curtis Odom, for doubles.
Well, it's an honor. I was honored and a privilege. I was honored when Curtis asked me to bowl with him in doubles, and I'm honored. It's a privilege to bowl with him.
Well, Curtis came out in 2011 and rolled the first perfect game of the year, also the 700th in history. And of course, you had your opportunity there, had the front 11, almost had the first one of this year, and certainly a great memory for your first time here. Couldn't have thrown that last shot any better, at least from our standpoint, but walk us through that game a little bit as the scoreboard changed colors at the 7th frame and then all the way to the end.
Well, I didn't know what it meant. Like you said, this is my first Nationals. And after the first 7, the X's went red, and I thought I was in trouble. But my buddy Bob Longery says that they changed red, that means you're on fire, I guess.
Basically, it's
Okay.
to draw some attention to what you're doing, and you know, let the folks around us know, the lane monitors especially, know that you know, we're on the verge of something very cool. So you got there, you got the 7th one, you realized you weren't in trouble, the principal wasn't coming down, but then you have to get up there at that point, knowing that all eyes are on you for number 8, number 9. What was the feeling at that point? I saw your hand shaking at the end of the game, but walk us through the last couple frames.
Well, I was just trying to, pardon me, just trying to keep my heart from beating too fast and go through a metal checkpoint in my head so I don't squeeze, so I don't pinch it at the bottom of the shot, and just try to keep my feet slow and make a good shot. And when I went dead flush the 10th and 11th, I couldn't believe it. That's when my heart started pounding, and I tried to calm down, take a deep breath, and I thought I made a crisp shot, my fill ball. And, maybe I lost a rev or two at the bottom, but low by 7, but I'm happy.
All right, well, yeah, 299, the highest game of the year so far. Probably a little bit of the best feeling and the worst feeling, I'd imagine. But you're able to shake that off and come back with a nice finish, 234 for 692. So can you sum up your first Open Championships and include the 299 and just a solid performance here in singles?
Incredible. I was overwhelmed the first time I walked in the doors to see the stadium, but that was nothing compared to walking down the ramp for the first time. And then having the honor to bowl with Curtis Odom and other friends, good friends like Bob Longery, it's incredible. And bowling on this tough of a shot, I haven't bowled on anything this difficult since I used to bowl PBA part-time, and that was back in '05. So a little rusty, but this is bowling, unlike bowling back home on a stone wall second arrow.
I understand.
This is bowling, and I shot 299 on one of the toughest conditions there is. So I'm happy.
Well, congratulations to you on a 299 game and a solid first time here at the Open Championships, and hopefully we'll see you again next year right back here at the National Bowling Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Narlock, 299, highest game of the year here in singles. And that's going to do it for today's broadcast, so thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to talk with you.
All right, well, thank you. And on behalf of Aaron Smith and all of us here at the USBC Open Championships, thank you for joining us today on our very first doubles and singles live stream broadcast. We'll be back with you on March 18th at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern with Chip and Key. So until then, that's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.